Hello, everyone, and good evening. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Duck. It is June. It is not June. It is April 30th. It has been a day, to say the least. I got a haircut. I've been running errands all day. Usually I do these in the morning. I am not recording this until well into the afternoon. But we're getting it out, so that's a win. It's just later than I expected. A lot going on, packing up. Going to be on the road for the next 2 weeks between LA, Anaheim, San Diego, Las Vegas. Doing a lot of things, seeing a lot of people. It's going to be fun, but we still got to get a show out today. And today we're going to talk about retired rides, attractions at Disneyland and DCA. I could go on forever if I included Disney World. So we're just going to be focusing on the west side in this video. And some rides that, I wish were still here. Some rides I understand why they're gone. And some rides that it would be just fantastic to create content with. And before I get started listing off some of these things, it is important to know that I firmly believe that Disneyland is never going to stay the same. It forever has to change. And unfortunately, certain attractions have to go, new things have to come in. Got to always make it fresh, got to always make it different. And I believe that is the right thing to do. And always pushing our boundaries and our imagination to create wonderful things. That said, rides like Pirates should never go away. Okay, we're just leaving that there. So we're gonna name a couple right off the bat. My first one I actually wrote down is actually pretty funny, and it's mainly because I think the content that could have come out of it, because it definitely missed the TikTok era. But it was closed in 2016. Big Thunder Ranch would have been really fascinating for me in the content era. It caught the YouTube era, don't get me wrong, but it would have been fascinating on TikTok. Um, so yeah, I would love to just see it, just to get a time machine, if that's possible. But obviously, Galaxy's Edge took that over, and it's become a very quick, fast forgotten thing in the Disney history books. Galaxy's Edge kind of put that one to rest very nicely, but still, it would have been fascinating to see the content that would have come out of Big Thunder Ranch. Um, Another ride that has been closed down, Splash Mountain. The only reason I named this thing should have been gone. This thing should never have been built. But we'll just say it should have been shut down a while ago due to the themes of it all. But Splash will always have a special place in my heart. I don't have much else to say. I'm happy Tiana's is here. I'm happy they kept the track the same. Love that drop. But Splash will always have a special place in my heart, even though A, probably should never have been built, B, probably should have been rethemed. And I always said this in like 2010, 2011. Why aren't we just theming this now to Princess of the Frog now? Well, they did it, 13 years later. Popular pick here on the next one, Skyway. Between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. I never got to experience it myself. It went through the Matterhorn. I've seen videos, I've seen pictures. I wish I would have been able to experience that attraction because it looked really, really cool. We're going to go on a run here in Tomorrowland. Carousel Progress, which I've been lucky enough to see at Walt Disney World, was originally at Disneyland. I think what hurts the most on this one is that building just sits empty for the most part. You got, some meet and greets, and they've had things coming in and out over the years, but especially over the last, my goodness, 5-6 years, that thing has just been basically wasted space, and I'm never a big fan of wasted space. Now, two rides that share the same track, People Mover, Rocket Rods. Rocket Rods was doomed from the start, had its problems. People Mover should come back. They need to do anything with that track. I mean, someone knows that track is just donezo, right? Because they would have done something at this point. I'm just in belief that they've walked the track. They know what's going on up there, and they've done the numbers and they've like evaluated the whole thing, and they're like, oh yeah, this thing's toast. Like we messed up. We didn't touch it 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like it's got to be because they would have done something at this point with it. Because Tomorrowland is such need of anything, and we go D23 in and out, and all these announcements in and out, and Tomorrowland is never touched, and that track is the biggest. Like, okay, what are we doing? And nothing ever happens. Nothing ever gets announced. I think the track is cooked. That's just my belief, because it's now just been too long. Maybe minutes after this video is released, we get an announcement, and I look like an idiot. Let's jump over to DCA, and I got another one that would have just been fascinating in the TikTok era, social media era. Actually, this one never was in the social media at all. Superstar Limo. Terrible ride. Just awful. Thank God Monsters came in and knocked it out. But just for the pure ability of seeing it on TikTok and the funny things that probably could have been made, could have been fun. It could have been fun. Tower of Terror. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, is a great fit. It's wonderful, but I'm always going to be a Tower of Terror fan. Love the one at Hollywood Studios. But Tower of Terror always has a special place in my heart. One of my favorite rides. Very sad that one got, moved, and, it's fine. It's still the same ride mechanism and everything like that. So Guardians makes sense with the land now. I'm okay with it, but still, Tower of Terror, still love it more. Bugs Land, would love to have it back. Would love to see it again. I think a lot of that's got to do with the fact that Avengers Campus up to this point just has not lived up to expectations. When you take out an attraction, when you take out a land, that attraction or that land needs to be able to just say, oh, we completely forgot about what was before. Or it's just so much better that it's like, yeah, we're cool with this. Avengers Campus at this point, 5 years in, has not been able to live up to that standard. So hopefully with the new attractions coming in here in the upcoming years, that becomes the case, and this just becomes a distant memory, and we're like, oh yeah, this is awesome now. And hopefully that happens. But up to this point, Bugs Land would have been nice to have because it brings so many more attractions, and it was a cool area to be. My last one I'm going to mention, and this is probably the biggest miss, in my opinion. And I understand why this one had to go away, but the Maliboomer. The Maliboomer was awesome. And that was on, Paradise Pier. Paradise Pier? Paradise Pier. That sounds weird. Pixar Pier. Maliboomer was a shoot you straight up and then drop you ride. But the great thing about the ride was there was never really anyone there. It was such a short wait, and I get they had to shut it down because of noise complaints and all that stuff, because literally people were just screaming right into Anaheim, and that's not great. But it was a fantastic ride. It was Tower of Terror light, in my opinion. And it was awesome. And I wish we could get that one back. And it got replaced by, for 7 years, nothing was there, if I remember right. 6 or 7 years. And then Inside Out came in with one of their spinning rides, which is cute and all, but it's not the Maliboomer. And Maliboomer is always, forever will hold a special place in my heart. Forever. My idea that I've always had that will never happen is I wish that there was a retired Disney attractions park where all of the rides that no longer in operations live. Somewhere in Florida. Somewhere off of one of the lakes. Massive park where we get to go. It's the graveyard. And revisit the graveyard. I would be there a lot. A lot of fun rides. Alright, well that's all for today. I am planning on doing episodes while I am, in these different places over these next few weeks. But if it is a little bit more spaced out, sorry about that. It just might be a little bit more difficult. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to shoot some of these and all that stuff. So it might be a little bit less over the next couple weeks, but definitely planning on releasing a few episodes here and there. It just may not be 4 or 5. It might be like 2. It just depends on timing and everything that's going on. So, and if I have internet connection, because I'm going to be in and out of hotels sometimes too. So that's a big one. Yeah. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.